calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try ZipIntro for free right now at this exclusive web at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipIntro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
President Trump says he wants to build a new missile defense system modeled after.
All right, we're on the video live stream now. I want to make sure we capture all of this. Because I've just been shamed.
You want to do that?
Just been shamed for being a big fan of Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, you weren't shamed for being a
Good morning and welcome to the video live stream for the WSJM Morning Show at 7:03. Sorry for the 2-minute delay for getting on. Our video live stream computer was rejecting the internet for some reason. It said, nope, don't want to do it today.
I mean, it is awfully early in the morning.
It's the rain.
Rhiannon Cizon, right? Cizon is here. What about in France? Do they say Cizon?
I don't know, but I'm not French, so please don't. I'm a good person.
Don't confuse that. Cizon.
Yes.
Cizon. Rhiannon Cizon is here, and Sarah Spoonholtz is here, a familiar face to the WSJM studios. And we're talking about something that's becoming familiar again here in Southwest Michigan, the Pickle Festival.
Yes.
The Pickle Festival. So looking forward to talking about that.
Yeah, it's our 5th year, so excited.
Okay. No quiet voices this morning, Sarah. You're gonna have to be loud.
So this
You're
is
even right in front of the microphone.
Because normally I'm the loud one, and between Rhea and I, she is the loud one.
It's like an escalation of
this
sound.
This is gonna be
I like to think of it as like two marching bands in the same room playing at the same time, different music.
Yeah.
No?
Totally.
All right.
We'll go with that.
We'll come back in just a moment. We'll tell you why I was Fleetwood Mac shamed in just a few moments as well. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. 7:05 a.m. Wednesday, May 21st. 51 degrees in Benton Harbor right now with mostly cloudy skies. 51 in St. Joseph. 50 in South Haven, 51 in Dowagiac. As you're heading to work this morning, we've got about 50, 52 degrees out there all around Southwest Michigan. The weather forecast for today does call for some rain. Cloudy skies, a 60% chance of rain. I mean, if it's like yesterday, it won't be that bad. Did you get rained on much? We got a little bit of rain.
Yeah, I picked the wrong time to leave to go home from work and got soaked because the second I walked outside, it was a downpour.
Yeah, there was that. And there was the lightning and the thunder and all that kind of stuff.
It was just like I'm tired and this is not helping me wake up.
Sarah Spoonholtz and Rhiannon Cizon are here in the studios. Did I get that right this time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We're going to talk about Berrien Springs Pickle Festival.
Yeah.
That's coming up in July. That's when it's going to be sunny and warm and beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And roasting and tasty pickles everywhere to be found. So we'll talk about that here in just a few moments on the WSJM Morning Show. So we welcome you to the studio. Thank you for coming into the studio.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Pickles. I love pickles. I will take pickles on anything.
Well, do we have an event for you?
I'm thinking,
All right. You just found new pickle royalty. All right. We'll be back in a moment to talk more about the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. It's coming up soon in July. July 4th. Is that right? July 4th?
Yep. 4th of July.
How do you remember July 4th? What else happens on that day?
I don't know. Something with fireworks.
Oh, yeah. Independence Day. 4th of July. That's right. Okay. Pickle Festival. We're going to talk a lot about pickles this hour. In news from the WSJM newsroom this morning, a Van Buren County woman has been sentenced for the murder of her husband. It happened back in 2007. Linda Sturmer's conviction was thrown out in 2018 because the court found she had an ineffective defense attorney, but the retrial resulted in the same result, guilty. The verdict was guilty this week. It was back in January of 2007 when Sturmer's house in Van Buren County burned down. Her husband was found inside burned with lacerations to his head. Judge Kathleen Brickley was not sympathetic to Linda's defense when reading the sentence this week.
For the heinous acts you've committed in burning your husband alive and in leaving your children with that imprint forever. The sentence of the court is life without the possibility of parole.
Family members gave statements calling Sturmer evil and an awful human being. In her defense, Sturmer said investigators had a witch hunt out against her. Prosecutors say Sturmer and her husband Todd had been married for 14 years, but they were going through a divorce. Prosecution says on the day of Todd's death, Linda told the kids to go outside, and then she set her husband on fire. She's then accused of running him over with a van as he ran from the home. She claims she was in the basement when the fire started and was trying to go for help in the van when she hit her husband. The Benton Township Board of Trustees has approved an application seeking a state grant for a $900,000 sewer project planned along Crystal Avenue. At their regular meeting on Tuesday, trustees heard from Steve Osting of engineering firm Preen and Newhoff that the Michigan Water-Related Infrastructure Program is taking applications for projects that could protect public health in communities with low to moderate incomes. He said issues with the sewer line along Crystal near Empire Avenue make the replacement project a perfect fit for that program.
The need for the project is because of the poor condition of the existing sewer, which has experienced breaks and repairs in the past and is routinely in need of maintenance with township maintenance personnel to keep the sewer in operation at that location to prevent wastewater backups into homes.
Osting said the real issue for trustees is to decide how much of a local match to offer with the grant. The more a community offers to put up as a match, the more points the state awards, bettering the chances of getting the grant. Osting said to get the maximum points possible, Benton Township should offer at least a 25% match, about $225,000. They did that. They hope to get the entire grant for $675,000, but they say it'll be a few months before the township learns if it is approved for that grant. And Memorial Day weekend is almost here, and the Michigan Department of Natural Resources has some reminders for people to be safe and avoid causing problems at state parks. DNR Parks and Recreation Chief Ron Olson tells us parks and campgrounds that were closed due to the March ice storms in the northern lower peninsula are all back open, and he is expecting a very busy camping weekend.
We're right now sitting at about 96% occupancy, which is very, very good. That's one of the top occupancy rates on Memorial Day that we've had in a long time. Probably could be close to a record.
Olson says campers should be careful not to start wildfires by making sure their campfires are fully put out when they're done. The way to do that is to pour water on the fire, stir it, pour more water, and then stir it again. If you can put your hand in it, that means the fire is now gone. If you're thinking about swimming, also, Olson says, remember the water is cold.
The water temps are still in the 40s in Lake Michigan. So if you're planning on going in the lake, be very mindful of the fact that at that temperature that you can get, overcome with, or could lead to hypothermia and things like that.
Olson says inland lakes may be warmer, but Lake Michigan is probably too cold to swim in at this time. He also reminds off-road vehicle riders to stay on the right side of the trail, avoid alcohol, and slow down. As for boaters, all are reminded to wear their life jackets. Also, you're reminded to help prevent the spread of invasive species by not transporting firewood for a campfire and washing off your boat before you move it from water body to different water body. If you want more information on that, just go to the DNR's website. It's 7:11. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. We've got pickles on the mind because it's Pickle Festival coming up soon.
Love it.
We've got Rhiannon Sisson and Sarah Spoonholtz here to talk about the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. We're going to start that conversation on our video live stream right now. We're going to catch you up quickly on sports and then come back on the radio. It is the WSJM Morning Show.
Sports.
Okay, good morning and welcome back to the video live stream of the WSJM Morning Show. Would like some viewer comments here. If you wouldn't mind, I had to go to my backup internet connection, and so I'm testing the quality of it to make sure that it's okay. So if you have any issues, if you identify an issue, or if you just think everything is fine, it's normal, Ken, just put that in the comment and let me know, okay? I'll pass these messages along to our engineer, Terry Green, who is always happy to fix the problems that I identify. Right?
He says with conviction.
Yeah.
And may I call you Ree?
Everybody else does.
Okay. Ree? Do you prefer Ree or Rhiannon?
It doesn't matter. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Sarah was right. You are a firecracker. Look at that.
What's
She's
sad
so
is
nice.
she's not even caffeinated.
No.
Oh my gosh. Do you want some coffee?
No, I don't drink caffeine.
She doesn't.
Oh, really?
She doesn't coffee.
Oh, never. You don't coffee.
I don't even drink caffeine.
You're just high on life.
I'm high on something. Unfortunately, it's all naturally produced.
Rhiannon Sisson and Sarah Spoonholtz are here. I can't even remember where I was going with that, but it's great to have both of you here this morning. We're talking pickles, and I think so. Sarah, you're a fixture here. We know you,
Yeah,
so we're not going to introduce you again.
that's fine.
I mean, you can give yourself a little introduction.
That's fine.
You're with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber.
Mhm.
You're a lifelong resident of the area.
Mhm.
You're fantastic. You're involved in a lot of community organizations. And you're involved in the Pickle Festival.
I am. I'm one
How
of
did
the
you get
committee
involved in
members.
the Pickle Festival?
I got voluntold.
That's true.
One of the so Rhiannon is actually one of the founding members of the Pickle Festival's return. So her, Christina, Rhiannon representing the BCHA, the Berrien County Historical Association.
Okay.
So the courthouse in Berrien Springs, with Christina, who is the director of the library in Berrien Springs, and Kelly, formerly community coordinator for the village of Berrien Springs. Kelly happens to be one of my best friends.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, hey, let me know if you need volunteers. And she's like, great. And the next thing I know, she's like, by the way, you're officially on the committee. And I'm like,
To be very fair,
Yes.
to be very fair, she actually started as an actual volunteer at the festival itself. She ran a live stream that day, kind of did some running around. And a few months later, we were all, the three of us, original committee members were like, yeah, we need to start expanding this because we were not expecting it to be as big as it was.
Are you kidding? It's a pickle festival.
Well,
why wouldn't it be big?
When we
first
started,
year back
it was
after
our,
16
Oh, okay.
years.
All right.
and it was
Fair.
in 2021. So we're a year out from the pandemic.
Okay. All right.
So we're like, maybe a few hundred people will show up. We'll get like a couple dozen vendors. We had like 40 some vendors and like 1,500 people showed up.
Yeah.
There's somewhere floating around the internet an interview with one of the news stations where the three of us, the only time all committee members were together in an interview. And we all look like that we got hit by a bus. And then they're like, so were you expecting this? And I gave out a laugh that 100 years ago got me locked away to a mental institution. That's exactly what it sounded like.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about expanding the committee, because we're like, oh no, we need more people. So we're like, yeah, Sarah needs to be on the committee.
Of course.
And Kelly was like, all right. And then she's like, you're on the committee. Like there was no do you want to? It was, you're on the committee.
Nice.
And to her credit, she said yes. I mean, which we're very grateful for because she's a very busy woman and she's involved in so much. So the fact that she gives us even a second of her 48-hour day we're very grateful for it.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ray.
Okay.
I love you, Sarah.
See you later.
We're going to come back on the radio here in just a moment and talk all about the Pickle Festival. And I'm going to ask you some questions about pickles. I hope you know the answers, like popular pickle myths, right? Misconceptions.
Well, I know at least one I'm going to blow out of the water.
All right, we'll talk about that in just a moment here on the WSJM Morning Show.
57. Tonight down to 44 with scattered rain showers. Rain for Thursday morning, then some sun in the afternoon with a high of 58. As we head into the weekend, we start to dry out a little bit. We'll be back up at near 60. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:16, it's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, the 21st day of May. If you're curious about the temperature outside, it's 51 degrees. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Throw your phone
Well, I
down
just get
awful aggressively.
when the temperatures are not varying very much across Southwest Michigan, I get bored. It's like 51 degrees and that's it.
I thought you were angry because it's the end of May and it's 50 degrees outside.
Do you know me? I love cool weather. I mean, okay. I'll take the heat. It's fine, but I do want 4 seasons. I want 4 seasons, and I feel like we've been robbed of a proper
Michigan.
spring. I understand.
Yeah, 4 seasons in a single day.
That's the issue. I've become spoiled because Michigan gives you a great spring day, and then it takes it back and gives you winter again, and then summer, and then winter,
like
and then
some
summer.
of the casinos, it giveth, and then it
That
taketh
exactly
away.
right. Well, we're putting all our chips down on the Pickle Festival.
Yes.
Chips, pickles, get it?
Uh-huh. Oh, we got a new pun.
7:17. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm here this morning with Sarah Spoonholtz and Rhiannon Sisson, and they are here representing the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival, which is coming up on Independence Day, July 4th, 2025. How many years since you brought it back?
5.
5 years now.
year.
Fifth year anniversary.
Yes.
Fantastic. First off, let's introduce who we have here today. Sarah, just give a brief update of who you are. People know who you are, but you're with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. You're amazing. Who are you?
That was
that was a great intro. I love that.
Need we say more? You hear her every other Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So you're gonna
telling us about what's going on with the channel.
4 weeks in a row.
Oh goodness.
in a row?
Yeah,
I don't
because
know,
we've got
something
some
like
things coming up.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, Sarah Spoonholtz with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. Michigan native, born and raised here, love Southwest Michigan, couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
Yeah.
And as Arthur also refers to me, the community's employee.
The community's employee.
Yes.
You're employed by the community,
Well,
and they
yes.
ask a lot of you,
Yes,
and you deliver. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Rhiannon Sisson, also known as Rhi, if that's all right, has shamed me already because Rhiannon is a popular Fleetwood Mac song. And I said, is it spelled Rhiannon like the Fleetwood Mac song? And she says, and I said, you probably don't get that very much, and being sarcastic. And she said, well, people my parents' age, or maybe you said grandparents or great grandparents.
No,
I'm not
parents.
Did
All
it
right.
say parents' age? Did it say parents' age?
Fine. All right.
My immaturity might be young, but my age is not.
Rhi is here, and on behalf of the Bear, what do you do? Tell us who you are for people who don't know you. Introduce yourself, please. What's your
You
origin
should
story?
know me. No, my name is Rhiannon Sisson. I am the executive director of the Berrien County Historical Association. We operate the History Center Courthouse Square, although most of the community still remembers us as the 1839 Courthouse Museum in Berrien Springs.
Okay.
Although we've been the Courthouse Square for like 10 years now.
Oh, goodness.
And we were one of the original founders of the Pickle Fest back when it was the Christmas Pickle Festival in the 90s. And we now currently are an OG founder and host, or co-host, I should say, because the library still hosts some of it, but
Okay.
we host Vendor Alley for the Pickle Fest every year.
All right. So for those who don't know, and they've been living in a closet somewhere, what is the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival? Give us the
My
history.
legacy,
Long
apparently.
story.
So back in the 90s, the village was looking for, I should say the village chamber was looking for some sort of unique festival to draw tourists to the city. And 3 members of the committee, including then BCHA Director Glenn Uminowitz and then BCHA board member Dick Schinkel, who everyone knows and loves, were introduced to the legend of the Christmas pickle. Completely wrong legend, but a legend nonetheless.
What's the legend of the Christmas pickle?
Do you not know this?
I don't know the
You
legend.
don't know it?
I don't know it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
As a
sure there's
side
at
note.
least one other person out there who
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
know
I'm sorry.
it.
Okay,
So-
go ahead.
It's allegedly a German tradition where you hide a pickle ornament in your Christmas tree.
I have heard of
And
this.
it kind of depends on like the variation of it for what what you get. So for some families, the person who finds it on Christmas Eve gets to open a present early that night.
Oh.
For other people, it means that they'll have good luck going into the new year. And for others, it means that they get an extra Christmas gift.
Wow.
So it just kind of varies depending on the family.
Okay.
I, being German, family was like, the what? So kind of Americanized.
Okay.
But is definitely something that has continued. People love it. Rhiannon, the gift shop on the docket gift shop inside the BCHA, they sell a ton of the Christmas pickle ornaments every
Okay.
year. And yeah, it's actually what helped start the festival initially.
Yep.
Wow.
And
okay.
so, and it ran for about 15 years. It ran from about 92 to about 2005.
Okay.
At one point split to a summer and winter festival.
You sliced it up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just kind of faded. It happens. It's an incredibly large festival. It was a 4-day festival back in the day.
4-day festival.
We're not doing
You're
that.
Sarah's mouthing the words. We will not do that again. No more
I love
4
you
days.
guys. We are
Not 4
doing
days.
Okay.
I don't even love it 4 days. And so Kelly Ewalt, who was then working with the village, she's now
Who we
with-
love. Good morning, Kelly.
Kelly Ewald. Kudos.
She's at her office going, oh God, I've been summoned. Kelly came to me in November 2020 and said, the village wants to restart the Pickle Festival. She's like, but we're not going to be able to do it alone. I said, well, we helped found it originally. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, we still can't do it alone. So we roped in Christina Knezik, who is the director of the Berrien Springs Community Library. And we, as I said, we were kind of hoping just to kind of kick it off in 2021. And a lot of people were canceling their stuff in 21. So that's why we had this sudden influx of vendors. We were expecting maybe a couple dozen vendors, food, craft, business. And we ended up with like over 40 vendors or close to it that first year.
Wow.
And then we're like, maybe a few hundred people will show up. And it was like 1,500 or so. And we're like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
So we are now in our 5th year this year, which I don't know if Kelly and I really were thinking that far ahead. Obviously, we wanted something that would be long term.
Yeah.
And so now we're in our 5th year and we are a committee of 7 or 8 now. And thank God that helps alleviate a lot of pressure. I can tell you that for the planning. And we're anticipating up to 8,000 people this year.
8,000.
I think we're the largest one-day festival in Berrien County right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
if you think about it, unfortunately, the Eau Claire Cherry Festival that used to be a staple here in Southwest Michigan for the 4th of July holiday, they haven't been able to bring it back since COVID between volunteers and sponsor donations. So they kindly have started just directing people to Berrien Springs, and being from Eau Claire, however you choose to pronounce it.
Eau Claire.
Thank you. Being from there, that's something that I appreciate because that was such a large part of my childhood and my, growing up here. But they have been amazing to refer people over to us, and just the response that we get. I mean, we get people who are coming in from like Denver, Colorado, and from like Massachusetts and down south. Yeah, we've had like obviously with the Andrews University campus there, they already pull in such an amazing diverse population of individuals. But now we've got even more people coming here from across like the world for it. So yeah, it has grown, I think, even more than any of us could have ever imagined. It would.
I think we were just hoping that first year would go okay. And then we're like, oh, it went well.
It went very well.
Yeah.
You underestimated people's passions for pickles or pickled items.
I don't know if we necessarily underestimate, because we know there's plenty of pickle festivals across the United States.
Okay.
But I think because we were post-COVID, it was brand new. I mean, yes, we were kind of resurrecting the memory of the Christmas pickle, but it was brand new. And we are Berrien Springs. I mean, a lot of the tourists tend to stay on the coast, and why we go inland? And we were hoping that, maybe some of them would change their mind. And apparently we had about 7,500 last year decided to change their mind. I mean, if you think about it, Berrien Springs is not even 2,000 population wise. We're about 1,900 people.
Oh, yeah.
So we've quadrupled the size of the village every year.
That's awesome.
It's leading up to it. We've got the pickle preview weekend festivities. So, we say we jokingly are like, we're not doing a multi-day festival. Kind of in a way we do, but we spread it out over multiple weeks. But the actual day of the 4th of July in Berrien Springs, you've got that morning, the police and fire department do a pancake breakfast at Orinoco Township Hall. And then you've got the pickle festival, which kicks off at 10, and that runs until, what did we say, 3 o'clock this year? We've changed it a couple of times.
Okay.
At 4 o'clock, you've got the 4th of July parade through downtown Berrien Springs, which has continued to grow as well, because there's not a lot of parades that are still happening on 4th of July. And then you've got the fireworks that night at the Berrien County Youth Fairgrounds. And I mean, it's a whole entire day of a lot of fun for the family. And of course, it helps if you like pickles, but even if you don't like pickles, there are people who are like, pickles are disgusting, but this is amazing.
That would be my mother, by the way. My mom does not like pickles, but she loves it because she loves to go shopping. That she goes, is such and such coming back this year? So my mom gets all the gossip before everybody else does, because she asks me, and I'm like, I run the vendor registration, and she's like, is such and such coming back? I really love them. I said, yes, Mom, such and such is coming back this year.
And you raise a really good point, Reed. So people hear pickle festival, they may have their own preconceived notion of what a pickle festival is. What can people expect to find at the pickle festival? You walk in the gates, what do you see?
Well, a lot. So we have our biggest section is our vendor alley, which is mostly on our grounds with food vendors on Union.
At the museum.
at the museum,
Courthouse,
and then
yep.
you can head across the street to the library where our pickle tasting rooms. That's what sets us apart from other pickle festivals. Is we make that's a first come first serve, so you gotta get in early and you gotta get in quickly. But we have about 10 different pickled foods or pickle flavored foods. We try to mix it up. We've had everything from pickle flavored pop to cotton candy to pickled
Taffy.
peaches. Oh god, that was gross.
Bologna and hot dogs.
There you go.
To be very fair, that really wasn't as bad as I was
Actually,
expecting.
It wasn't. Yeah.
The cotton candy was worse, but Kelly and I were sitting in our
Pickle
office.
flavored cotton candy.
See, I didn't mind the cotton candy, and I actually didn't mind the Laffy Taffy, but other people did. But
It's weird. That's really what it was. And it's interesting because we'll sit there and try some things out on occasion just to see if it's worth having. And we'll all be like, half of us are like, yeah, this is pretty good. The other half of us are like, oh God, no, this was not it. This was not it.
Yeah.
But it's never consistent. It's always different people every time. So you have the vendors, and we do have some pickle vendors. We have people who are producing foods that are with pickles or flavored with pickles. And then we had asked all of our vendors this year. So if you're listening, reminder, we have asked we were asking our vendors to really lean into the pickle theme, because some of them come their first year, they don't know what to expect, but the returners are like, oh yeah, this is great. So they kind of lean into it. If you have a really good arm, you could come join us at the Pickle Fling, which is a holdover from the last one.
Yeah.
The record.
Why are you laughing?
Pickle fling.
Yeah, actual dill pickle.
Yeah.
So we used to use cucumbers.
Yeah.
The irony of the story. that you were
Right,
sharing. Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
So now
Wash
we
your
actually
hands.
use jars of dill pickles.
Yep.
So, and it's everything from the little kids.
The gherkins?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
The
not
gherkins.
The gherkins. Yes.
I mean, we can call them the gherkins.
Yeah.
Gherkins.
New pun.
Yeah. So all the way from the littles all the way up to adults, and what is it? 294.
294 feet is the record for the pickle fling.
Which
Somebody threw a pickle a football field away?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. He was, to be fair, I think it was one of the former football players.
No, he was a baseball player. For
Baseball
a very
player.
long time.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, don't feel bad if you can't fling it 242 feet, but if you think you can fling it farther, please come out. We would love to see this record broken in the new festival. But it says something that record has stand for like almost 30 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's the length. That's not the length of our property.
There's also things too, like, so we do big wheel races every year for the little kids as well. We wanted to try and do something that everyone in the family could enjoy.
Mhm.
So we've got the pickle fling, as we mentioned. We got the big wheel races. We've got frozen t-shirt contests for the teenagers as well as the adults.
Frozen t-shirts.
Frozen t-shirts. Yeah.
Explain.
Have you? Okay. God. Oh my gosh.
He's just learning so much stuff from us
I'm
today.
learning a lot.
What you do basically is you take a t-shirt, you dunk it in water, you ball it up, and you throw it in the freezer. And so it freezes into like basically a chunk of ice, right?
Okay.
So, which is really nice because when it's 92 degrees with like a humidity,
Is it
it's
still crumpled?
refreshing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then
Okay. So it's not laid out flat and frozen.
They
that
have
would
to
be
open.
too
Yeah.
easy.
No, gosh, no.
So you have to like break it. You have to like use your body heat. You basically have to get it open, and then the first one to get it on wins. And these are, Pickle Fest t-shirts, so they get to keep the t-shirt even if they don't. It's
Okay.
also very refreshing when it's a lot of degrees. And just to be completely honest, we may have borrowed this from the youth fair. So shout out to the crew over at the youth fair for providing us with a great
We
idea.
might have borrowed
We
this.
may have borrowed it. We totally did. But then we also have the relish eating contest. So there is we actually have who knew that eating a jar of relish
Sweet
would be
relish.
so competitive.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What's the competitive
Gosh.
part about it? The speed?
Yeah.
The speed. And
Okay.
like people are like, I got this.
Yeah.
Watch. And especially the kids, not so much the kids. Last year we had two little younger girls who were like, one was like, I've never even eaten relish. I don't know if I like it or not. And about halfway through, she's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
There's a great picture of the girl who
Yeah.
won just shoveling the relish
Shoveling
in,
it in, yes.
and then the girl who got second place behind her with this most disgusted look, like, how are you even doing
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
It's like
Love
my
that.
favorite picture.
You
love
get
that.
like a little wooden spoon. You can't like just chug it. You got to use the spoon to eat it. But then the
Okay.
adults come up, and I've never seen a more competitive group of men in my life, and women
Got this
too.
relish.
Yeah,
Gonna eat it.
So, but we're looking this year at doing also potentially a spicy one as well, just because
Yeah.
you got to make it a little bit more
Absolutely.
difficult. But in the past, we've done things like the cucumber decorating contest.
Yeah.
We've had kids games for the kids to play and enjoy. And of course, we also have a dunk tank, which all the
Oh.
proceeds
Yes.
from the dunk tank go to a different charity every single year. So last year it went to
JP.
to
Or, I'm sorry.
Jordan
Parson.
Parsons
Yeah.
Scholarship Fund,
Okay.
which awards a scholarship to an athlete at Berrien Springs High School. The year before, it went to Backpacks for Berrien. This year, we're really, really excited about partnering with Friends of Berrien County Animal Services.
Nice.
I have been told, I cannot promise anything, but I have been told that they are going to try and dress up a couple of their ambassador dogs
Oh,
in pickle costumes
nice.
to come out. But, you know, we have an amazing group of volunteers. Sheriff Height usually volunteers to be in the dunk tank. A couple of the other elected officials in Berrien Springs usually volunteer to be in the dunk tank. But all proceeds from that go directly to the nonprofit. So this year, too, with it being the Friends of Berrien County Animal Services, also going to allow people to bring in donations, food, all that kind of stuff for the pets too, because they need it as well. So we're really excited about that. And then, of course, the Village of Berrien Springs, they have been amazing. They're technically, you know, the big hosts of the event, and they also do free ice cream. They give out
pickle flavored ice cream.
Nope,
No.
Oh.
vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the original things that we did in the first year. And if you wanted entertainment, the first year we did this, you sat outside the courthouse and you watched as people exited the courthouse where the tasting room had been that year, rushing to go get ice cream, either to get the taste out or they got something too spicy and needed to cool down. So entertainment abound at the Pickle Festival, I can tell you that.
We're talking about the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. It's coming up on July 4th, and the organizers are here to help us understand what exactly is going to be happening at this 5th year anniversary. The 5th year of the resurrection of the Pickle Festival in Berrien Springs.
I mean,
the brine is just keeping it going.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you can't kill a fermented product.
Well played.
I
She
have
didn't even catch it.
I have questions. I have suggestions. And we're talking with Sarah Spoonholtz and Rihanna Cizon. And we're talking about the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. We're going to continue this conversation on the video live stream right now. We've got to get some financial information in from Bloomberg. We've got our ABC World and national news, our local news updates, sports, and a few other things. But we're going to continue talking Pickle Festival on the video live stream. Tune over there if you're not already.
Would you call free
The dunk tank, is it filled with pickle brine?
No.
If not, why not?
Safety purposes.
Don't believe it.
I mean, you're talking.
It did look like pickle brine the first
You
year.
have it decorated like pickle brine?
No. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
So my phone, Siri on it has just answered. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
No.
Siri is getting very interruptive these days. I've noticed at
She's
home
very
too.
demanding.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So yeah,
Pickle
we had
brine.
talked. You know, that was something that we jokingly mentioned in I think one of the meetings, and we're like, yeah, no, that would be disgusting.
And like,
Oh, it's got to be great though.
If you want to get into pickle brine, you're welcome to do so.
So the superintendent too of Berrien Springs Public Schools, Dr. Thomas Bruce, is amazing. He did the dunk tank one year in a suit, and we really did not want to ruin the suit too.
Okay.
And we also do have some of our royalty, so the younger kids who get dunked in it as well. So I mean, there's a couple of
I'm
different
thinking it
reasons.
would be a
But it
world
does-
attraction. You get national news if you had a dunk tank filled with pickle brine.
I mean, it looks like
I mean, there's something Southwest from putting a little food coloring in there to give it a good color. But no,
You can throw some pickles in.
and shout out to the Niles FOP for donating their
Dunk
their
tank?
dunk tank to
Nice.
us. We realized we had one the first year, and unfortunately it was
It
too
leaked.
and it was a little too small for some of our taller folks. So the FOP stepped up and said, "Hey neighbor, we would
Nice.
love to." I mean, Sarah opened that dialogue, but they said, "Yeah, absolutely." And
Kelly opened that dialogue.
was it Kelly? Somebody on the committee opened the dialogue.
Hangnail?
And so
Get a
we are
hangnail
very
out of
grateful for that, because it makes it a lot easier to, make that an offering and reduces the fees related to it, so we
Yeah.
can put more money towards the charity.
That is fantastic. How do you choose the charity?
It's just a random discussion at one of our meetings.
Yeah.
Okay. Like there are nominees and you have a discussion
Yeah, we
about it
figure
and
out who we
choose.
can work with.
And this year the animals got it.
They did.
I like it.
And we also do
exciting.
take into consideration that the exchange is they have to work the
Yeah.
booth.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, because we're all running around and we have volunteers doing stuff for us on the festival side of things. So we do take that into consideration when we're choosing a charity. We don't want to choose one that's got like 2 people because it's just not feasible. So that does play a factor into it. But we're excited because one of the things that we have discussed is that in the last year or so, and this is something we discussed last year after the festival, that really Berrien Springs, while it is the home of the Pickle Festival, it's now a descriptor of where the Pickle Festival is. We have grown beyond the borders of the village. And we are now a festival that is known in Berrien County. I mean, there's still people who are finding out every day, but there's things about our neighborhoods that we're always learning every day. So, and the absolute joy people have, like Flams in Eau Claire. I'm not from around here, so you can tell. Everyone knows I'm not.
Where are you from?
Northwest Indiana. I grew up in Hammond. So,
okay.
My family vacation.
Did they make organs there? The Hammond organs?
Not it.
Okay, somebody knows.
I'm a bad historian. I don't know.
That's all right.
But
ironic.
It's my backyard. I didn't care, but now I care. But so Flams, supported us. They donate the relish, and Harding's has been there, and Berrien Springs has been a good partner. They not only house like the ice cream for us, they allow us to the t-shirts get put in there.
Oh, their freezer. Okay.
Yeah, and they were instrumental in getting us our cucumbers that first couple of years that we were doing it and things like that. So, the community has really embraced it. We found that a lot of businesses, we're now, like I said, we've been talking about it's our 5th year, and at least 5 of our sponsors have been there since the very beginning. Starks and Deer Path Excavating and Greenstone Credit Services, and people may change what they give every year, but they're always giving, and that's to me, and I think maybe it's from my nonprofit background, but when people are willing to give you money for an event, that is a vote of confidence that you can never, ever take for granted. That's, you give me $1,000 for the festival, that's 1,000 votes of confidence that we're going to put on an event you want to be a part of. But we've had conversations about what tomorrow is going to bring. So
let's put a pin in that for tomorrow, and we will come back to it in just a moment. We've got to get some news here. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Coming to Google, which is rolling out the search tool to all of its U.S. users. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's pure joy to have the folks from the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival in the studios this morning. Sarah Spoonholtz is here. She's usually with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber, but one of her many community commitments is to help out with the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. You were voluntold, you say, but I bet you love this. I bet you do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because it's pickles. It's your bread and butter pickle. I'm just going to keep going. Rhiannon.
It's a delightful time.
Nice.
Brian, good time had by all.
That was good. That was very good. All right. Rhiannon Sizon is also here. And we're talking about the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. There's a lot more than I thought I could ever learn about the Pickle Festival that we've already shared. I have more questions and suggestions.
There are many more things we haven't even touched yet.
Well, and my suggestion to fill the dunk tank with pickle brine was flat out rejected. I'm so disappointed. At least you're going to decorate it this year to make it look like brine. Can you commit to that?
I'll make you a deal.
Throw ping pongs in there. They're like the little dill things.
No, we can just throw pickles in there.
Or you can throw pickles in there too. Absolutely.
I'll make you a deal.
All right, make a deal.
Come be in the dunk tank, and I'll definitely. Oh yeah, see.
I think it's a possibility if I can find the right pickle outfit. Maybe. I love it. It's 7:41. We've got more coming up in just a moment. Let's get a quick check on the weather forecast. By the way, Tigers won last night 5-4.
Woot.
They beat the Cardinals. Did you know they have the winningest record in Major League Baseball right now?
The Tigers?
The Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, Major League Baseball.
Tigers.
Absolutely. They're leading their division. They've got the most wins in Major League Baseball, and they score the most runs in the first 3 innings in the major leagues as well. Any other team, they score the most runs. 109 so far.
Keep it up, boys.
They play again this afternoon. The first pitch is set for 1:15. You can hear it right here on WSJM. Why? Because we are your official Detroit Tigers baseball station.
Woot.
Yeah, we've got that. With forecast for today, cloudy skies, a 60% chance of rain, a high around 57. Tonight, cloudy, more rain, and a low of 44. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of rain showers, high around 58. And then as we head to the weekend, looks like we get rid of the rain for the most part. Partly cloudy skies on both Friday and Saturday. High around 58 on Friday, high around 62 on Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny. There is a slim chance of rain, but we're going to get warmer temperatures in exchange for that, a high around 67 degrees. We have more coming up in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dabusky. Bright and early, the House Rules Committee is meeting to decide whether to move forward with President Trump's tax agenda. Republicans say it cuts spending and trims federal waste, but Democrats have been arguing the GOP is using this late-night session to hide harmful policies from the American public. Democrat Benny Thompson says it will make the country less safe.
We may be here in the dead of night, but you do not need the light of day to smell manure. The American people are not going to be fooled by any middle of the night manure slinging here.
The Trump administration is facing a new federal order to hold on to deportees who are reportedly being sent to places that they're not from. It comes after the New York Times reported 12 men were sent to South Sudan in violation of an order that gives migrants time to raise concerns about potential danger in situations like this. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:43, the WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning, I'm Ken Lundberg. We'll continue our interview. We're talking about the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. That's coming up and on July 4th this year. But there's some pre-festivities that we'll talk about and give you all the information about in just a moment. At 8 o'clock this morning, we'll have the latest world and national news from ABC. Then we'll have the latest local news from the WSJM newsroom, talking about a disappointing setback. That's what St. Joseph Township officials are saying about the latest developments at the Berrien Hills at River's Edge project. That's at the site of the former Berrien Hills golf course. They've got some bad news from FEMA about a flood map, and we'll tell you a little bit more about what they might do to change that. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Also, a Benton Harbor attorney is calling attention to the lack of communication from the Benton Harbor City Hall. She says she had several clients, one of whom tried to get off the foreclosure list, and the city didn't communicate that the bill was paid to the county, that therefore she was in danger of foreclosure. We'll tell you how that resolved. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Also, City of South Haven may have found a new developer for the former Overton property. We'll give you those stories, weather, sports, a whole lot more. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Back in just a couple of minutes with more of our Berrien Springs Pickle Festival news interview. But we will continue that right now on the video live stream. Sports is coming up after a look at state news on the radio.
The Michigan News Network.
Okay, second suggestion. So you already have a pickle relish eating contest.
Correct.
What about a pickle eating contest?
We thought about that.
Okay.
It was one of the earliest
Let's hear the
suggestions.
debate. I want the minutes from that meeting.
Okay, so
Do we ever
relish,
keep minutes on
less of a choke hazard.
Oh.
Yeah, that was what it came down to. We also considered doing a brine drinking contest.
Yes.
But with the sodium content,
Oh.
I mean, it actually might be beneficial because it is usually a very hot day. And I mean,
Yeah, athletes
electrolytes.
drink that stuff, right?
But we didn't want to. Like we were strongly encouraged to not.
Yeah,
do
do the
it.
pickles ever come up the wrong way?
Yeah.
After you eat a jar of relish or something?
They do. We have not yet seen it.
No, we haven't
Thank
seen it yet.
God.
Yes.
It's not a mess I'd like to clean up. Thank you.
I feel okay. So the pickle eating contest for safety hazard. Okay, I get that. I do feel like we need to be more inclusive. When I say pickle, when you say pickle fest, I'm thinking about pickled brined cucumbers.
Right.
Is that what you're thinking about?
I mean, most people do, and that's what
yeah.
that's what
I have a book this thick about how to pickle stuff that aren't cucumbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
We carry books
Oh,
like
yeah.
that in the gift shop.
So
We have non.
do we celebrate
pickle.
non-cucumber
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
pickles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The first year we did the tasting room.
Sarah gets so
Oh, yeah.
defensive.
She's
Yes,
protecting those
of course
pickled
we do.
peaches. We've
Yeah.
had pickled fruits. We've had pickled vegetables.
I told you bologna and hot dogs.
Yeah.
Those were legitimate pickled things.
We weren't
that were
joking
in the
about that. That was
tasting
year
room.
one.
Do you have pickled watermelon rind?
We did that one year.
Yeah,
That is
that
so
was
good.
We've done
Love that
fiddleheads, quail eggs. We've done
Don't recommend
Quail
that.
eggs? How do you pickle
seaweed,
quail
no,
eggs?
kelp, I think is what it
Very,
was.
very,
Very carefully.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah.
I remember when we were putting everything together, we all kind of looked at each other like, I'm like, this looks like a science experiment. It looks like eyeballs in a jar. It was like
Pickled eggs, pickled pig's feet.
we've
Knock on the pig's feet.
Pig's feet, I think, is one thing we haven't done yet, but I think we've done
on the pig's feet, but we've done like pork rinds. We've done, pop. We had dill pickle flavored pop one year. You name it. Like we've tried to get it. But also keeping in consideration what might not go over so well.
Okay.
We had Kelly's Death Pickles one year.
Kelly's Death Pickles.
They're super hot, spicy pickles. So we do put warnings on the spicy stuff because we don't want to like get somebody who
I had. Can I tell you about a spicy incident I had the other day?
Go for it.
With a setup like that. Well, so I'm in the kitchen. I'm making stuff, and I'm making what I thought was going to be an Indian curry, and it turned out to be that way. But I opened the wrong spice canister because I reuse canisters. I reuse canisters for spices and stuff like that. I opened one up. And I thought, oh, that looks like a good Indian curry. I wonder which one this is. Big old smell. Oh, huge smell. And I don't smell with just my nose. Because the better smell is you'd get the whole full bouquet of whatever it is with your mouth and your nose. I went right in. Big old whiff. That was my thing of scorpion chili.
Did you clear? Oh, yeah, you cleared your sinuses.
Oh, everything. I almost barfed.
I was going to say his six generations of sinuses were cleared in that
Oh, yeah. I was crying. I was almost vomiting. And then I informed.
Maybe a disclaimer on the container for next time.
Warning.
Labeling. I turned it around. It did have in little writing next to the scratched out thing, scorpion chili. Careful.
Yeah, they didn't help you though.
Yeah.
No,
you didn't put it on the other sides.
Yeah.
Or just put it in a red can. Or
we don't go that far because we do have to worry about people, who might have an allergy or might have a more harsher reaction than they should.
Yeah.
But a funny thing about the Kelly's Death Pickles was like, well, we'll do a couple in there. These are very spicy.
Yeah.
And they went out fairly fast.
Popular
and people were like, you need more of that.
Wow.
They're like, okay.
People love them.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the most so you've been putting this on, this is your 5th year. In the 4 years past, what's the most surprising thing other than how many people came out that first year? What's the most surprising thing about a pickle festival that you've learned?
Probably the actual food items, how much people love like pickle pizza. Town Hall Pizza is usually there with pickle pizza.
Yum.
Ben's Pretzels, they come out with a cheese and pickle stuffed pretzel.
Oh god.
We had a pickle lemonade. We had one last year, Dr. Pepper and pickle.
Oh,
which is surprisingly very refreshing.
Yeah, it was very good.
So I mean, like some of the creativity. Sticky Spoons, she did a spicy dill pickle jam one year.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. So I mean, like the creativity that people get with like some of the food-based items too. We had a dill pickle fudge one year, which was
dill
actually
pickle fudge.
Dill pickle popcorn. Yeah.
Is there are there hunks of pickle inside the fudge?
But she used like it was like a sweet dill. She used the juice from it for the fudge. And it was, And
it's very interesting because, and then you have people who've been coming for several years. One of our prepackaged bakeries, she's like, I was thinking about doing a lemon dill macaroon, and we're like, yes, that'd be great. The embrace, just like I said earlier, people embrace once they've gotten through their first year, they're like all in on the pickle theme, and they get they get bigger and bigger. And we got a couple of vendors who've been with us for 5 years now, and they know. And then you can tell who the first years are when you're walking through the vendor alley because it looked like they've been in the middle of a war zone.
Do you need any more vendors? Are you sold out yet?
Okay, so for non-food vendors, we're pretty much at the end. Right now, we're sitting at 73 vendors.
Wow.
Which is, insane. Yeah. So the only we got one more review that we're going to do next week of a couple that have come in, but really we're kind of at the end at business and craft vendors.
Okay.
The only vendors we're going to take going forward are on-site prep food vendors, which are like your food trucks, and pickle vendors.
Okay.
We understand it's a little hard for some of our pickle vendors, especially if they're small companies, to come out because it is the 4th of July. Their employees want the day off, but they are entirely welcomed, and they will like Paw Pickles. They come out every year. Paw Pickles was so popular, they sold out at 2:00 last year, and the festival went till 4. They're like, what do we do? We're like, come back next year.
We'll be right back in just a moment. We'll continue this conversation as part of our Moody on the Market update. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
This afternoon, temperatures are going to stay steady in the 50s with a high of around 57. Tonight down to 44 with scattered rain showers. Rain for Thursday morning, then some sun in the afternoon with a high of 58. As we head into the weekend, we start to dry out a little bit. We'll be back up at near 60. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
What about pickles and Wheaties? You ever have breakfast food or a pickle omelet?
Yes,
I will do a pickle omelet.
Yeah, pickle omelets. Okay,
I'll do that.
with the right kind of cheese. It's got to be white cheese, I think.
Yeah, or like a Havarti.
Ooh,
Oh, that
Dill
sounds
Havarti.
good. That sounds good. We're good morning and welcome back to the WSJM Morning Show.
I have not had breakfast
We're
yet,
incredibly hungry. I've got Rhiannon Sisson here and Sarah Spoonholtz from the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. Rhiannon is talking with us about kind of the some of the pre-festivities for the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. And you've got a lot of pre-festivities going on. Let's make this, wait a second. Let's make this part of the Moody on the Market update because I have to read this thing. Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and Niles. They're pleased to bring you the Moody on the Market update. The Moody on the Market update brings you business updates. It brings you life in Southwest Michigan and why we love it here, and interesting people you should know. I think we hit all 3 buckets this morning. We did, because it's a business update. You've got vendors coming out of your ears.
Yep.
You've got interesting people who will eat spicy pickles and get dunked in a dunk tank full of pickle brine, if we can make that happen, or it doesn't happen, whatever. And then also life in Southwest Michigan and why we love it here.
Right.
I'm inviting the Food Network to come and cover this thing if they've not already.
They have not.
Okay,
Not
they
yet,
should.
but it's been a long time hope of ours,
They
especially
absolutely-
the pickle fling.
Especially the pickle fling and the relish eat off or whatever it is. So tell us, Rhiannon, about the pre-festivities that happen leading up to the July 4 Berrien Springs Pickle Festival.
Ooh, there's a lot. So we have what we refer to as Pickle Festival Preview Weekend, and that is a fairly long weekend for us. It kicks off on the 13th. With 2 events, one in the morning, that is the Berrien Springs Eau Claire Rotary's annual golf outing.
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire. The region rat in me cannot meet the
That's all right.
the O.
Keep going.
So that is, they're accepting teams right now and whole sponsors. You can contact Judy Larson at United Federal Credit Union in Berrien Springs for more information. And then that night we have our sashing and crowning for our Dillmeister and our Pickle Prince and Princess.
The royalty.
The royalty. So we are still accepting applications for royalty. Now this year we're gonna eventually remove the geographical restrictions, but this year it's only limited to kids 6 to 10 in Berrien Springs, Eau Claire, Berrien Center, Berrien Township, and Orinoco Township.
Okay.
They can apply online. It's an online process this year, and it's a completely online pageant. I have friends throughout the pageant community in the U.S., so they do the judging.
Nice.
And then we do the crowning at the Courthouse Museum on June 13th at 6:30. We also sashed the Dillmeister. We unfortunately lost 2 of our Dillmeister nominees. So I am going to reopen that. If you have missed out on the Dillmeister nomination, you have until Friday,
Okay.
please, to give me some time to nominate. You can self-nominate. You have to be 18 and over in the same geographical region. But if you nominate someone, can you please give me their contact information so we can confirm that nomination, that we had some issues with that. Womp, womp. Womp, womp.
That makes
So-
sense. Where do people go to nominate, whether it's for the royalty or the Dillmeister?
So for the Dillmeister, we're only going to accept digital nominations since it's only a few days. You go to berrienhistory.org, go to our calendar of events page, and if you scroll down to community events, all the links are there. Or you can email bspringspicklefestival at gmail.com.
Okay.
bspringspicklefestival at gmail.com to get the link.
All this information too is on our Facebook
page. Yep.
Yes.
Berrien Springs Pickle Festival.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you can
I'm
find
looking
all
at
that.
I'm looking at your Berrien Springs Pickle Festival Facebook page right now, and it's fantastic. Why is the pickle wearing a sweatband?
Because we have the 5K that is also that weekend too. So Saturday, so pickle preview weekend. Saturday, we actually take Saturday off to recover and get set up for the In a Pickle 5K that happens at Andrews University's campus, kicking off at the Andreasen Wellness Center. If you have not been there, you definitely need to come and check it out. It's a gorgeous 5K. It is Father's Day. It's early in the morning. You can come out, do your 5K, run, walk, whatever. Get your pickle medal, enjoy some pickles, also some bananas and other potassium-based items. And then go and enjoy a fun and fantastic Father's Day. We've got about, I think, 130, 150 runners and walkers that come out and join us for this. So they are still doing a registration right now. And you can find all the details on Facebook. And then we do have the Pickle Fest scavenger hunt that happens the week prior to the festival.
Wow.
That'll be June 23rd through 29th. So you can find Dillard, who is our official mascot of
Dillard.
the festival. Yeah.
Are you Dillard?
No.
But I named Dillard.
Oh, you named Dillard.
She is actually St. Pickleus. I am Dirty Dill. We do all have pickle related names.
Love it.
Yeah. And then so you can actually do the scavenger hunt, a chance to win some fun prizes with merchants all through downtown Berrien Springs. And then of course it would not be a pickle festival without pickle ball. So this one is actually a fundraiser for the Berrien Springs varsity and JV tennis, boys and girls tennis programs. So it is $30 per team. It happens on Sunday, June 29th at 3 p.m. at the Berrien Springs tennis courts.
And the only catch is you have to play, instead of with a regulation pickleball, you have to play with a pickle, right?
No.
Oh.
But
All
we
right.
do have people for both the 5K as well as for the pickleball tournament who have dressed up as pickles to play and to run. So that is, or in their favorite pickle regalia, if you will.
Yes.
So you are welcome to do that. They do have a rain date of July 6th, which they're not going to need though. It's going to be a gorgeous day.
Yes.
She's manifesting it.
Manifesting it for him.
That is a lot of information. If you didn't catch any of it, you can check it out on their website or on their Facebook page. Go to their Facebook page. And I think it's safe to say, if you like it, you're going to get a ton of great information about the Pickle Festival. It's the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. It's happening on July 4th this year. It's the 5th annual since the resurrection of that fine program, since they got rid of the whole Christmas pickle thing. Anything else we need to know? That's it.
No, it's primarily everything is free. There may be some charge for a few festivities, but otherwise just come in and join us for a family-friendly day.
Sarah Spoonholtz and Rhiannon Sisson, they're with the Berrien Springs Pickle Festival. Thank you for sharing that information. Back in just one moment.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM-FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
And that does it. We took it all the way right up to 8 o'clock. So we've got to get some news in here. Sarah, Ree, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. We've got ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. They've been going since